Welcome back, friends, to another yoga session with Living Peace Yoga. I'm Shawn. I have a very nice gentle flow scheduled for you this evening. So slip out your mat, grab something comfy, grab a glass of water, sit down on your mat with me. We're going to need a bolster for tonight's class and a block if you feel that that would be helpful. But otherwise, let's hop in and do some yoga. We're going to come to simple seated on the bolster or blanket, even if you have one. It doesn't have to be a bolster. Have our knees in a nice neutral position. And we're going to place those hands on the knees. Come to a nice resting position with the spine nice and straight. Close those eyes. We're going to roll those shoulders down and back. And then just coming to the breath, the inhale and the exhale, trying to still the mind of all of the things that fill it up. Fleeting thoughts may come and they may go. It's okay. Just let them pass as easily as they come and just come back to the easy breath. Our verse tonight is out of Romans 8. It is a familiar one to some, but to some who are new to the channel, this may be your first time hearing Romans 8:28. But it says, "And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them." And guess what, friends? That means me and you. We are the ones called according to his purpose. So let's do some yoga and figure out what our purpose is by finding peace on the mat tonight. We're going to run through a little cat-cow here in a seated position. So place your hands at the front of the knees. We're going to pull the chest forward. Tip the nose up towards the heavens. Pull those shoulders down. Take a nice inhale. As we exhale, we're going to round through the shoulders, pressing the shoulder blades towards the wall behind you, curling under the tailbone. And then we're going to flow through that at our own breath pace. Inhaling at the top, exhaling shoulders back. Just beginning to warm up the spine. Again, finding that place of stillness. Good, and we'll come to center. We're going to release the bolster. We're going to come back down to our bums. We are going to need the bolster a little bit later in practice, so we'll just place it to the side for now. We're going to extend both legs out into a V formation. Good, and then just very slowly army crawl forward into a forward fold. This is our first hamstring stretch, so allow those hamstrings, the ankles, the low back, some grace. God gives us grace, so we need to give ourselves grace. Good, and we'll come back up to center with the legs extended out. We're going to turn both hip points towards the left leg, and we're just going to slowly run our hands down that left leg into a forward fold over the left thigh. Again, you should feel this nice stretch behind the left hamstring and also a nice right hip stretch, low back, where of course we keep a lot of that stress. Good, and we'll come back up to center. We're going to turn towards center, and then we're going to take both hip points and we're going to turn towards the right leg And then a nice forward fold, thighs down the right leg, forward folding over that right thigh. Good, feeling that nice stretch in the right hamstring as well as the left hip, low back. Good, and just allowing that to open. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, forward fold over that thigh just a little bit more, finding space where you didn't think you had it. Good, we're now gonna windmill this left arm up and over. We're gonna turn it upside down, place that inner forearm on the inside of the left arm, and then we're gonna take the right arm and place it over the left leg. Feeling that stretch in the right side body, allowing that just to open and release. Of course, continuing with that breath. Good, and now we're gonna windmill ourselves to the other side. So taking that right arm, placing it on the inside of the right thigh, palm facing up, left arm up and over the left thigh. These are some nice deep stretches for those side bodies. So allowing those spaces to open. Good. And then very slowly make your way back up to neutral, and then a nice forward fold in the center of that V one more time. Letting go of what no longer serves you, and instead picking up that piece on the mat. Good, and we'll come back up to center. We're gonna place both feet together, scooch them in, let those knees fall to the side. We're gonna grab both feet with cupped hands, letting those knees just open up, allowing yourself grace, allowing gravity to do its job, and bring those knees as close to the mat as you can. And of course, still making your way to the breath, dropping those shoulders down if you've allowed them to creep up, back down, lengthening through the spine. Good, we're gonna move towards all fours. So again, reminding you of the positioning, wrist under elbow, elbow under shoulder, knees under hips. We're gonna take that right hip or right knee out to the side, bending at the hip, and then we're gonna bring that back to center. We're gonna extend that left knee out to the side. Good, and bring that back to center. And we're just gonna rotate back and forth, each side. And of course, working with the breath. So inhaling on the way up, exhaling, bring the knee in, inhaling out, exhaling, bringing it in. And then one more time each side, bringing that right knee in, and then one last time, bringing the left knee in. Good, and then we're gonna place our bum to the heels, take those knees wide, extend those hands out for a nice, well-deserved child's pose. Good. Come back up to center, into all fours. We're gonna curl those toes and come back to downward facing dog. Pressing those hips back and away from the mat towards the wall behind you. Pedaling out those feet, making space if you need to. We've done a few hamstring stretches, but we can always make more space. Press those heels towards the mat. Good. Look up to the top. We're gonna walk ourselves up to the top. Forward, fold it out. Good, big deep breath. Arms up overhead. Exhale, forward, fold it out. Inhale, coming to a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward, fold it out. We're gonna extend those legs back into a plank pose. Coming down into that chaturanga push-up and up dog. Uncurling the toes. And then curl those toes and come back to downward facing dog. Good, pedaling out where you need to. Take in a couple of deep breaths. If you lost that breath, it's time to find it. Downward dog is technically a resting pose, believe it or not. Look to the top of the mat. We're gonna walk to the top. Forward, fold it out. Good. Big deep breath in, arms up overhead. As we exhale, we're actually gonna come into our chair pose. So sitting our bum towards the mat, arms extended out, reaching towards the wall in front of you. Good, taking a nice inhale. As you exhale, forward, fold it out. Good, extend those legs back to plank. Good. We're not going to move through a chaturanga. Instead, we're going to bring that right leg forward. We're going to place the right shin behind the hands. We're going to extend that left knee back, uncurling the toes. This is where your block would come in so handy, as you can use it as a headrest during pigeon, forehead rest. If you'd like to just move all the way down into your expression of pigeon, feel free. This also does not have to be a stationary pose. So moving those hips back and forth is helpful in creating space. Feels so yummy, especially after a nice stressful day at work. I live in Michigan, so the snow has started, so I had a nice stressful drive home from work today. But yoga always helps. Good. If you're utilizing a block, you can place that to the side, come up onto those hands. We're gonna move that left leg forward. We're gonna come out the same way we came in, so extending that right leg back into a plank pose. Good. We're gonna take the left leg, we're gonna bring it forward, place it behind the hands, so that left shin behind the hands, extend that right leg back, and then come into your expression of pigeon. I used the block in the last pose, and this time I'm just gonna come into my expression of pigeon. But if you'd like to utilize the block to bring the mat closer to your forehead, that is certainly okay. Drop those shoulders down. If you'd like to not stay stationary, it's okay. Movement and breath are good. Movement, breath, and meditation is yoga. Good. We're going to come up onto those hands. We're going to rotate that right leg forward. We're going to come out the same way we came in. So extending that left leg back into a plank. Good. And then rotating those hips back and up to downward facing dog. Good. One more time, we're going to run through our vinyasa. So looking to the top of the mat, walking up to the top, forward, folding it out. Big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward, fold it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward, fold it out. Place those hands to the mat. Extend those feet back to plank. One more time. Chaturanga, push up and up dog. Uncurling the toes. And then curl those toes back to down dog. Good. We're going to place those knees to the mat. Bum to the mat. We're going to turn it around, scooch our bum towards the heels, and we're going to come on to our backs and bring those knees into the chest. Good. Place those feet to the mat. We're going to take both hands and we're going to place them up under the bum. Good. Scooch those heels as close to the bum as you can get them. We're going to take in a couple of deep breaths here, settling into this pose. And then when we're ready, we're going to extend our hips up towards the ceiling and hold the pose. Of course, don't hold that breath. So lift for a count of 5, and then down for 2 breaths. Good, we're gonna lift up towards the heavens one more time. Lifting those hips up off the hands, hips towards the heavens for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to the mat. Good, and one more time. Lifting those hips up towards the heavens for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Bring the bum back to the mat. Release those hands. Bring those knees up to the chest. Good. We're going to rotate those ankles in a circular motion. Good. Getting in some nice foot and ankle stretch. Stop where you are. Rotate the opposite direction. Feeling that yummy stretch on the bottom of the foot. Good. And place those feet back to the mat. Awesome sauce. We are going to place our hands back behind the head. We're going to extend the right foot out. And we're going to bring it up to the top. Left foot bent. Left leg bent. Foot to the mat. Sorry. We're going to extend that right leg back down. Just hover it above the mat. And bring that right foot back up to leg up the wall. Good. And down. And right leg back up one more time. Good. Place that right foot to the mat. We're going to extend that left leg back up. And we're going to let it fall so that it just hovers the mat. Bending the right leg, placing the foot on the mat. Raising that left leg back up to a 90-degree angle. Awesome sauce. Bringing that left foot back down to the mat. Let it hover. And then back up to center. Good. Now we're going to take both legs, both feet planted towards the heavens, and then we're going to let both legs fall towards the mat. Getting in some ab work here. You might feel that shaking. That's good. That means it's working. Back up to center. As you inhale, let those legs fall to the mat. Not hitting the mat, just hovering and bringing them back up to center. One last time. We're going to let those feet fall towards the mat. Good. And then bring those knees into the chest. Good. Rock those hips from side to side, giving that low back a little massage. Good. We're going to rock ourselves up to a seated pose. We're going to grab for that bolster again. We're going to place it back behind, just behind the lower back there. We're going to extend the legs out, and we're going to come onto the bolster or a blanket, or if just plain flat to the mat is fine too. And we're going to come into our Shavasana. So letting those feet fall in a neutral position. Relaxing the shoulders, tucking them down and under. Softening the muscles of the face. Softening the jaw, the eyebrows. Letting the tongue come off the roof of your mouth even. And really falling to a place of surrender, to allow the peace to overcome you. I read from Jesus Calling tonight. I am taking care of you. Feel the warmth and security of being enveloped in my loving presence. Every detail of your life is under my control. Moreover, everything fits into a pattern for good to those who love me and are called according to my design and purpose. Because the world is in an abnormal fallen condition, people tend to think that chance governs the universe. Events may seem to happen randomly, with little or no meaning. People who view the world this way have overlooked one basic fact: the limitations of human understanding. What you know of the world you inhabit is only the tip of the iceberg. Submerged beneath the surface of the visible world are mysteries too vast for you to comprehend. If you could only see how close I am to you and how constantly I work on your behalf, you would never again doubt that I am wonderfully caring for you. This is why you must live by faith and not by sight, trusting in my mysterious, majestic presence. And that, my friends, is why and how I find peace on the mat. When you're ready, turn on to your right side, bring your knees up. Place your head on your right bicep. Relish in this moment of peace. Good, and when you're ready, come back to a seated position. Hands at heart center, eyes closed. Thank you for practicing with me tonight, friends. It was more of a blessing than you will ever know. I appreciate the practice. I hope that you find peace off of your mat as you did on your mat this evening. If you liked the content, please subscribe to my page and hit the hot thumbs up button below. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.